It's the same old thing we've said a few times now. We've seen this matchup quite a bit. It is a race to do your thing, and Shudderwock's thing is more coherent in terms of it can actually do more along the way.
Right.
Whereas the Warrior has one plan. It's put a taunt down, put another taunt down, not really getting anywhere. It's not helping itself for later. Shudderwock has multiple things it can do. If it whiffs, it can go wide. It can do it again. If it just kills your life drinkers, then that's good as well.
Yep.
Feels to be like all of the ace in the Shudderwock's hand in this match.
Okay, interesting. I think that there are some issues that can come up for the Shudderwock. Like, if they don't get a great opening with, as you said, like not a lot to do sometimes, then the Warrior is actually quite consistent at doing its quest, right?
Yeah.
It has so many early taunts that then can turn into early taunts in the form of, say, Phantom Militia, Stonehill Defender, means that they can just pick the lowest cost. Once they start getting that hero power rolling, the Shudderwock doesn't really have a great way to counter it or play around it. They have to just still carry on doing their thing to try and win with the Shudderwocks. And we have seen it that with some pressure, there's not a lot of options that the Shaman can have, but let's go right into it. Double Cornered Sentry for just 703. And a Warpath. Yala, though, has the Shudderwock, has the Grumble, has the Chain Gang, and some card draw. Not looking too bad. Not
looking too bad at all. Another point to go along with what Warrior can do is minions pretty hard to deal with. Like Volcano and Lightning Storm both rely on doing points of damage. Turns out that Warrior minions have lots of health. So that chip damage means maybe it buys them some time to only need to hit once or twice with the rag shots later.
Well, the second you need to hit one less time, that's a whole turn, and a whole turn against Shudderwock Shaman is a very, very long time. You do not want to give them that one extra turn to set up the Shudderwock a little bit better.
I mean, those cards in Shudderwock, the ones that don't win the game, are designed to
buy you
one
time.
more time.
Yep.
One more turn. One more time?
Both?
Yeah, sure. One more turn, one more time. Every turn.
Sometimes you don't need one more turn once.
Yeah. So if they deny it, like we're talking about there.
Yeah, and if you followed that, fair play, because I didn't.
Follow that. That's what I would say, not follow that.
I'm now really confused and lost. Let's go back to the game. Wild Pyromancer just being played as a 3-2. It's not really going to get too many benefits with the 1 damage to the board. As you said, the Warrior minions are either too big or the Warrior just doesn't really care about them. And you don't really want to Lightning Storm this. You don't really want to proc a Healing Rain. There's not things you would do against, say, base aggro that you would do in this matchup.
Both decks doing their thing pretty efficiently, though. The Shudderwock getting its stuff, and the Warrior...
Stonehill's been nerfed. It's literally just a 1-4. There we go. Booty Bay Bodyguard was the pick. Fortunately, we didn't see the choices.
Didn't see the bad picks.
Right. I mean, something's going wrong if that's the pick. Also, as well, maybe actually, it's just there could have been an option where, well, guess what? They can't play it next turn anyway, so there wasn't a full draw. They can Corner Sentry armor up. Next turn they go Booty Bay Bodyguard. So maybe it was just a curve choice. Like, would you pick a 9-mana taunt that's better than Booty Bay here? Probably not. Like, I think I would just pick whatever looked the best on curve.
And a 1-mana one might not be needed because you might have nothing to do on turn 5 anyway. Right. Normally you pick the cheapest, but now they do have things to do on turn 5.
There is just the one Die-Horn Hatchling, which I believe is fairly standard.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they do play Blackwall Pixie, which is actually quite important. We talked about turns. That's 16 from hand.
16 from hand.
A 3-mana 3/4 that does 16 damage. That's really good. Seems it's no mega card.
Like one of the new cards, yeah. So the Hunter version of
I wish.
Game 10.
Oh my.
3/4 Pyro.
Oh wait, no, 10 mana's way too late. Needs to be Hunter Omega. Turn 1, active. Let's go.
Turn 1, 10 damage, go. Finland losing it again.
Who took Finland?
Sorry?
Who took? No, sorry. Who took Finland as a prediction? Did someone?
Yeah, Sottle.
Oh, right. Get wrecked.
I was going to.
USA and Finland, eh?
He's having a bad day.
Not the prediction king anymore.
Glad I'm not his regular caster. He's going to take it on someone.
I just laugh. It's great.
What, to his face?
Oh, always.
You got that brave now?
I mean, this is the point we can't do any worse.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
I've played with this for years, learned I'm now immune. It's like when you try and make yourself immune to poison by injecting bits of it, you know, like over a long period of time. People have done it before. I believe the last time I read about it was like venomous snakes. Someone was injecting like snake venom into, or certain types of snake venom into them slowly over time, and they become relatively, if not more or less, immune.
That sounds like it could go horribly wrong.
It nearly did for me and Sol, yeah. but we've got to the point now where I have a pretty strong resistance, so it's not too bad. But Stonehill's coming down. That's sort of ticking a small box off the mini quest that is Shudderwock Shaman. But a much more clear quest to follow is Indonesia. Where they actually have the Daihon hatched and they're going to proc it to 4. They still have a booty base to go to 5, so they need 2 more. If you can keep up with that crazy mathematics, I know it's not quite high.
I can't ever keep up with your mathematics, Raven.
I do
Way
like
too advanced for me.
I do like the extent in which you went to the either side of the spectrum in terms of mathematic discussion. First, you're like, well, you put a finger down, so it's 18, right?
That's
like,
how you teach people to do 9 times tables.
So you do that, and then we jump to pi to the, I don't know, what was it, about 10th, 12th decimal place?
45, 45, 50, something like that.
Right. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm just like, look.
But I thought you'd mastered the finger counting and we'd move on to circles and circumferences.
It's like a lesson for next week. So this Hammer. Sol talks a lot about his frustration with Hammer, being that sometimes you need the healing rain, sometimes you need Zola if you don't have it yet, sometimes you need this and that. It is probably better in this matchup because you can make that decision very clearly on, do they have their quest active? Yes, no. Right. So can my Shudderwock just rush them down if I get quick enough? And a play like this shows you exactly what they want to do here. Getting the Grumble, so they can get 2 more Sirenites makes it extremely likely for the Shudderwock to be bounced if these 2 Sirens are played first. And I think we might see the Hemet get played in this game just to say, you know what, let's get to these. I think they run 2 Life Drinkers. Let me double check. Do they run 2?
Let's have a look. But yeah, that way they can rush down. Yes, they do play 2. They can rush down the Shudderwock, is what you're saying.
Right, exactly, yes.
And then just, if you're gaining 6 a turn, even if it goes wrong once or twice, which it really shouldn't, then I say that.
Yeah. So at the moment, if they play 2 Sirenites, they have +1 Sirenite Battlecry from the expected setup, right?
Yeah.
Because there's still 1 in the deck, I believe. So they're still looking pretty good. But now they have to portion it out because now they have a lot of information. That huge pickup of the Phantom Militia means that the quest can be done next turn, not activated in terms of equipping the weapon that we can see, but the quest can be done and finished next turn. And Yala still has some way to go, actually. They have the cards, but they also don't really have the mana to get there.
And the removal's lacking a little bit as well. It's looking very difficult to really stop this getting out of control for the short term.
It is, yeah.
And the short term is what matters right now.
Hex and the Earth Shock going down to help deal with some of these taunts. It would be so funny if the Hex Frog just propped the quest right now. Ah, well, it's another taunt.
You and your frogs.
Hey, look, I can't help it.
I heard you talk about frogs the other night. And just destroyed me.
Destroyed me too. Right, don't you worry. Blackwell Pixie is now drawn for Indonesia, though, which means that they also now not only have access to the quest, but have access to that double hero power turn. And the best thing about it is you can choose to play that on a turn that there aren't any minions. So you can say, yes, this is not, you know, a 50-50 or, you know, a couple of 50-50s, a couple of 33s. It's just like, no, this is just 16 damage to face 100% of the time, and I make a 3-4.
Yeah, we used to talk about the turns where you force through with the brawls, etc.
Right.
An 8. If you force through a 16, have some.
It's crazy, yeah. It's actually, it could swing the matchup quite heavily.
And they've got here very quickly. Sneakily, while we've been talking about maths and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's it, right? And it's probably a bit deceiving how quickly Warrior can do its quest because it doesn't run a lot of card draw. And you're like, well, how does it get there?
No ramp, no card draw.
It gets there because singular cards in the deck act as 2 and 3 cards instead of 1.
Okay.
So the Stonehill and the Phantom Militia are card draw to a certain extent. Because it generates your win condition. So it's kind of deceptive if you look at the list. Like, well, what if you don't draw any taunts? It's like, well, every time you do draw a taunt, it's normally worth more than 1.
I think Czech Republic here, they'll never play Hagatha, right? They need to work out if they're going to, but it doesn't look like they ever should need to. Obviously, that hand size is going to be big if they do. They need to work it out now before they actually go into that turn. Just make sure they're not going to.
It's kind of awkward, right? Because Sirenite just feels fine. You want to play Sirenite before you Shudderwock, of course. That's a fairly basic step. But then, well, you have to play the Life Drinker too, but then all your other cards are just kind of clog up your hand because one, they're either too expensive, i.e. the Emmett, or well, Farsight draws you a card, it cycles itself, and yes, it's probably more playable because the 3 mana reduction, but it's just something to consider that you, as you mentioned, you can't just slam Hagatha. You have to think about what your game plan looks like.
Getting the maximum number of minions on the board as well in terms of playing around Sulfuras, or more specifically the hero power it generates.
Oh, they are going for the Acolyte. They just want this Zola, right? They want to buy time for the Zola.
If possible, yeah. They might not have that luxury for many turns, though. They're okay for now.
Yeah. Because the problem is, even with the multiple Sirenites, it's still more likely, but the second that Grumble misses...
We've seen the chaos.
You lose at that point. It's against this deck, you just lose.
They just can't,
you're just dead. This turn is a little bit tricky though, only 8 mana, Brawl and Sulfuras is available, or even just a Brawl Slam, for example. There are multiple options here, but looks like Sulfuras is being hovered over first. Do you not want to Brawl this though in there? I'm looking at that Acolyte and being like, there's a reason they've played Acolyte with 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, they've emptied
right?
their hands
They
to a
need
certain
something.
side. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know what it is, but you know they need a thing.
So I guess they want to set up the Brawl Pixie. Well, they can't Brawl Pixie next turn.
No, they can't.
Okay.
But they can do it in 2 turns' time, and in the meantime hit them in the face as much as possible.
To be honest, thinking about it now, leave the Acolyte up if they Volcano. Okay, that's like 2 turns.
Sure.
Because Volcano's 5 mana, and then the 2 Overload stops them playing Shadow Walk anyway.
Oh, they hit the face!
It's pretty big.
It's really big because they could win next turn. Just play the Pixie, hit them twice in the face, hit in the face with a weapon, done. That'd work.
It does.
It's a little bit unlikely.
Yeah, I'm like, it can happen. I'm not going to argue that one. Now this gets tricky.
I wonder.
Me too, Thrall.
He is wandering away. The game might be wandering away this way. No healing, no Zola. At some point they might just have to go for it. And that is just every Shadowwalk player's nightmare.
It is, but the decision's hard for when you do this and when you feel you have to commit to it. But once you are pretty good, I don't think there are that many people who are very good at this deck overall.
No.
But once you are at that point, you can identify that fairly quickly and say, well, I've played this matchup 1,000 times. I cannot beat this unless I play Shadowwalk right now.
That buys some time. 8 health swing, pretty important. That's 1 whole extra turn like we were talking about earlier.
I wonder why they're not playing this Sirenite, because that means they just can't play Shadowwalk next turn, right? You cannot bring yourself to play Shadowwalk before you play the 1-mana Sirenite chain gang, surely.
Doesn't feel like that, does it?
No, we can see Brawl, of course.
Right.
But, oh, it plays around Brawl. Well, you're not really playing Sirenite to play around Brawl.
Well, you're
or
playing it to
not.
play around the hero power a little bit.
Right.
So if you're not expecting Shadowwalk next turn, and you're expecting Brawl to hurt you,
That Acolyte is immune. Blessed.
as wide as you can now, but
That Acolyte is very unfulfilled in life. Acolyte of Pain. 0 damage
just never
taken.
takes any pain.
Unfulfilled life.
Maybe he'll like progress to be a teacher.
That's true.
He teach people how to take pain, but can't do it himself.
Be a bad teacher. Can you show us the example? No?
I mean, you've seen what my schooling was like, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
How can this go on? How long can this go on?
Getting very close to just dying to the Pixie.
Right, there's still a wide board though, right?
Yeah. Well,
You like,
Warpath away, hit them for 8, then get 2 goes to the Pixie next turn.
there's only so much refill, right?
Forgetting to draw healing has been a bad move here from the Czech Republic. I think next turn they just have to go for it. If this goes Warpath, 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 hit you. Mind you, they're going to get healing or something out of that, right?
I'm wondering whether the Blood Razor ever works out better? Because you can Blood Razor, which is 1 to everything, hit.
1 time
no, it
36,
doesn't,
you've got a 3.3
No,
or
no, no,
3.2% chance right now, just going boss you, Pixie, boss you again.
You're just not making that play the way you, not when you've
Well, what you could do, I mean, you can definitely change it a little bit. If you know your hero powering into an empty-ish board, just do it once, see what happens.
Yeah.
But you miss 8, obviously, when you clear it. It's not sensible.
So they're going for Blood Razor.
This is going to give so many cards to Czech Republic.
But so would Warpath, right?
Sure.
Now they're getting the double and then the guaranteed. This is a different way to clear it. Save Warpath for next turn. Whew. I like it, Lorinda. I like it.
Still no healing.
This next draw has to be something big for Team Czech Republic, or they are just going to lose. It's a volcano.
Can the
It's
Wok
placed
save
on
them?
Agatha too.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty big deal.
That's well worked.
So now you have to go wide as Czech Republic, which they can do with Silent Chain Gang, but we can see the Warpath. Just going to say a hard no to that plan.
You can just walk and hope.
You might have to. This is what I'm saying. Like, you have to learn when you just have to go for it, right? And this weapon changes everything. Cause
Taking a walk on the wild side. Let's see what happens.
Nice. So there's 3 healing. There's the weapon.
Get him out of range.
To 10.
It's just everything broke.
Yeah, and look at the power of these Saranites. This might just be too much right now. The Saranites just making the Shudderwocks go so wide is also a huge problem. And no Hagtha means that the Shudderwocks aren't at 3 health, which makes a big impact as well.
And so it looks to me like it's
Hero power first, see if you need the pixie. What is this game?
just people being terrified of things from both sides.
Oh.
Here comes. Oh, now you've got to go for it, surely. Findan's face.
You do, right? You can't beat this. You know there's a one mana Shudderwock in hand.
Good luck, everyone.
They're not even lucky. Neither am I. Oh, they missed. And I'm pretty sure that's just going to be it. One, there's just a lot of power on the board for a start. There's no more mana to play the taunts that they're going to get from Stonehill. And they are fully aware that there is a one mana Shudderwock got bounced. Healing Rain there, bit of a problem.
Hex, Lightning Storm, Life Drink. Have they got enough mana? Yes. On top of the fact they've got a Shudderwock in hand.
But do they see it? They're in there. Of course they do. It's Czech Republic. What a nail biter that last game was. Czech Republic going to clean it up. They look like they were under a ton of pressure in this series, going 0-2 down to Indonesia. But with the high fives, there were no bananas on the camera now, but it was enough. The Shudderwock's going to get it done. It would crack me up if there was some way the Shudderwock could have lost the game instead of the life drink, and then yeah, something bad would have happened. But no, Czech Republic continue to do well in the Hearthstone Global Games this season at 2-0 record after week